Well, if you're not stay. But you wonder, so it's not your fault, not your fault. But you wonder, so it's not your fault, not your fault. But you wonder, so it's not your fault, not your fault. But you wonder, so it's not your fault.
the blues. I shop too much. I got the blues. But that's not exactly the point.
What is the point?
It's, well, that damn convenience. Woo! Stop shopping! Stop shopping! Welcome, everybody. Here we are. We're here with the earth. We're looking for a way towards life. I want everybody to feel welcome because I want everybody to feel that they got that same job, that task. We're going to work together today. We're going to find a way with the physical environment collapsing around us. Welcome the person next to you. Get a conversation going. Go ahead. Talk to the person. Introduce yourself. Come on now. Beautiful earth. Beautiful earth. Beautiful earth. Help us today. Tear down the concrete. Help us make a move. Help us. Give us the power. Help us tear down the prejudice, the racism, the classism, the sexism, the hatred, the hatred, the hatred. Tear it down. Be with us today. Be with us for this earth, church. We want to take a trip. Go on a voyage through the ecosystems, across the wetlands, the high plains, the desert, the coral reef, Antarctica, the prairie, the deciduous meadows. Take us through all the beautiful, beautiful forests, all the beautiful animals, all the life. May we join all the life.
Because the rest of my life is flying by yours, the lights of our body shade through the doors. Because you walk by me and I walk by you. Everyone we've ever loved is walking by too. Because the air around you moves like light. I gather the four walls and fall with the night. Because the hours were ours, time carries apart. Our quiet wildness is the beat of because the rest of my life is flying by yours. The light of our body shade through the doors. Because you walk by me and I walk by you.
The birds cannot sing anymore. They don't have a home to go to. They have no nest to return to. That branch has been cut off. And then the trunk is cut off. And they build a bathroom there. They build a bar there. Ooh. Who are we? What do you call this? Where are we going? Who is this? How would we know? How do we look at the evidence? What's showing itself to us? Do we have a map? What's the name? What's the language? Who can we ask? Do we have a leader? Why would we know? How would we recognize? Where are we going? What's our job? Do we have a task? How do we do it? What's the main thing? What's the theme? What's your name? What's my name? Who are we? Where are we going? What are we doing? How do we do it? What's the answer? What's the trail? What's the journey? What do we wear? What's the right thing? What's right? What's good? What's bad? Where are we going? Show me. What do we do? What do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do? What do we do now? What do we do? Where do we go? What is it? What is it? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this?
I'm making you feel.
What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
I'm making you see.
What is this?
I am not the only one. I'm making you feel. I'm not the only one. I am making you see. I'm not the only one. I'm moving around, moving around. I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking. I'm moving around, moving around. I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking. I'm moving around, moving around. I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking, I'm shaking. I'm moving around, moving around.
Yeah. I'm shaking, I'm shaking.
Death makes the sun rise. Death makes the sun rise. Death makes the sun rise. Death makes the sun rise.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Extinction is real.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Extinction is real.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Extinction is real.
Extinction number 6.
4. 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
4.
Better say I love you.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Better say.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We better say I love you before we disappear.
4, 2, 3, 4.
Extinction number 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do something to remember if someone does survive.
Someone does survive.
Extinction is real. Extinction is here. We better say I love you before we disappear. Extinction number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do something to remember if someone does survive. Extinction is real. Extinction is here. We better say I love you before we disappear. Extinction number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do something to remember if someone does survive. Extinction is real.
Extinction
Extinction
is real.
is here.
Extinction is
We
real.
better say
I
I love you.
love you before we
Extinction number 6.
Extinction
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something to remember if someone does survive. Our hearts are beating.
Now I know why.
On the living earth there is no goodbye. Our hearts are beating. Now I know why. On the living earth there is no Extinction, extinction, my God, what a word. It's everywhere, it's nowhere, it's loud, it's unheard. Let go of the myth, extinction will surprise. Now we can really reload.
That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise.
Extinction is real. Extinction is here. We better say I love you before we disappear. Extinction number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do something to remember if someone does survive.
Hearts are beating. Now I know why. On the living earth there is no
Something to
That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise. That makes the sunrise.
Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise. Death makes the sunrise.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I am not the only one.
I am making you
I'm not
see.
the only one. I am not the only one.
I am making you
I'm not the only
feel.
one.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
I am making you
I'm not
see.
the only one. I'm not the only one.
I am making you feel. Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
I am making you see. One. I am making you feel. One. Not the only one. You're not the only one. You're not alone. With God, each other. First, hallelujah. We have a family, a community, getting to know each other. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Hey, listen. Woo. Talk to each other. Oh, I will change. Because we've got to change. Don't you agree? Change, hallelujah. Change, hallelujah. Change, hallelujah. Change, hallelujah. Can we change? Can we change? Oh, I think we've got to.
What did you do to the great outdoors? And to our children's children, why and what for? You couldn't decide about that thing called life. You wanted more gas, more guns, more sacrifice. But a child from the future knock on your door. Will she say, I'm a dead kid from 2044? You don't seem to want your future anymore. But the future wants more life, not war. INEX in extinction, you fools. Your children's children from 2044. I am looking for a vacation in the great outdoors. Extinction takes a vacation. I walk in your door. Your population of bodies is my white sand shore. This pandemic made of humans has lost its role. You're my scenic view now. You're my forest floor. INEX in extinction, you fools. Your children's children from 2044. I am looking for a vacation in the great outdoors. INEX in extinction, you fools. Your children's children from 2044. I am looking for a vacation in the great outdoors. This pandemic made of humans has lost its role. You're my scenic view now. You're my forest floor.
Francisca Benitez, thank you. The X in extinction. Amen. Catchy, right? Is that going to work? We'll stay in the song with that one. At the top of my script for this, this thing that is about to be visited upon you. The opening line is, "What apocalypse?" And I visualized, a group of New Yorkers at the vendor window at lunch, and like the weather's bad, and somebody comments and says, "Oh, there's that climate change again," and then somebody else is a doubter, and that person goes, "Apocalypse? What apocalypse? What apocalypse?" You hear like a New Yorker fan? Do you hear that? What apocalypse?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah, that was the next phrase. Indeed, the most sophisticated among us are saying the same thing. In fact, it's starting to look to me as if the change that has to take place isn't necessarily going to come from the professionals that meet at the climate conferences. It might come from something that happens down at the little vendor truck.
I think so.
Amen. It might happen. It might happen down among us, with our kids, with our neighborhoods, with our sports teams, the whole ball of wax. I hope we don't like Trump quite as much as we may have at one point. Now, I'm just starting to sound like George Carlin all of a sudden. I'm lapsing back into my hero. The earth will be okay. It's you and me. We're fucked. Thank you, George.
Yeah,
George, a spirit among us. In fact, I've become a student of the ordinary moment lately.
Okay.
I think it's partly because we went to Glasgow and we got hit with how corrupt that whole thing is. It's like a big poker game between billionaires, and then they make promises and then they leave. And they say, "See you in 2 years," or 1 year, or whatever. And most of the people there are lawyers and lobbyists who work for fossil fuel. You know all this. Sometimes it's necessary to preach to the choir. But the ordinary moment, I've been following people around, studying their ordinary moments, a little like a sicko, and they look at me, what's the problem? But ordinary moments are just the in-between moments, when you're not quite at your destination, you've left where you left from. You're kind of in the middle somewhere. You're on your way. You're in motion. Now somehow, when you're in the middle of it like that, another thought will come in sideways, and an unexpected, uncontrolled dream will come in from somewhere. It's an ordinary moment. You're walking up Broadway. You're walking up the sidewalk. You're waiting for a lift. You're going into the subway. That's you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Ordinary moments. How couldn't they be under-examined? But somebody someday will make a coffee table book called Ordinary Moments, and they'll have a picture of people in ordinary moments, right? Am I right? They'll commodify this, but for the time being, it's just ours, all right? It's just ours. In New York City, we proceed in our ordinary moment with our destination very much in mind, because we're in a hurry. And because we're not quite ready, and we're trying to put something missing on that meeting that we're going to say. And we're coming from a place, and we're pissed off at the person we just left. So we're going from anger to excellence. Anger to excellence. New York City, all right?
Oh, yeah.
So In that ordinary moment, we have made a Faustian deal. And the Faustian deal is that we are safe with our own delicate narcissism, our own intentions, for about 15 minutes. We are invaluable. Is that a word?
Inviolable.
Or is it like inviolatable? What?
Inviolable.
Inviolable. What?
Inviolable.
Inviolable.
That's all right. You got it. We know what you mean.
All the choirs
Inviolable.
pronouncing V words right now. And we have two Veras. Vera and Vera. Yeah, there we go. Now that Faustian deal goes like this. We're tender little people. We were born, we're going to die. But we're New Yorkers, so we've heightened this ordinary moment. And we and we have made a deal that no one's going to impede our progress for 15 minutes. Nobody. And I think it's spatial as well as time. It's say 15 blocks, okay? 15 minutes, 15 blocks. 15 minutes, 15 blocks. Don't get in my way, all right? That's what we established. Now, we're not alone, and we don't control the 15 minutes. Did we ever? Maybe not. But we don't now. We don't now because of what the physical environment is doing, because of what the earth is doing. The earth is inside of our 15 minutes. The earth is inside of us. You and I are ultimately complex ecosystems with 100,000 beings, living beings in our bodies that we can't even name. We know now that 15 minutes is not sealed off. Hold that thought for the next 20 minutes, will you? Don't hold it. Leave it active. Walk through the next 20 minutes. Everything I'm going to say depends upon understanding what I just said. The earth is with us, and because of this 15-minute misunderstanding that we're having with reality, we're depoliticizing ourselves in that 15 minutes. And I'm going to tell you that New Yorkers haven't done enough in the environmental way. We're not known for the environmental movement here anyway, but we have a job to do. From anger to excellence. We've got a lot that we can do for the earth. Somebody give me an earth-alleluia here. Earth-alleluia. All right, now look, the deal that we thought we made is that we would accomplish, we would advance, we would catch something, we would get, we would acquire, we would defeat, we would win, we would something, elevate. And the earth is with us before each of these summations. And the earth is waiting for us. And we need to know that we should be waiting for the earth. That we have a destination that we have to go to, and that we will have to shed that 15 minutes. We'll have to get rid of it. We'll have to reinvent our ordinary moment. It is an extraordinary moment. It is living life. And life is a part of something larger. And what is that thing that's larger? Right now, it's a tsunami higher than the buildings, 800,000 million times stronger than anything that we could ever accomplish. And it is the earth. And the earth is going through some kind of feverish, intense, hyper-evolutionary mass extinction right now. That has to come into our 15 minutes. That has to come into our 15 blocks. It has to come into our body and our soul. Let's work on that today. All I have to do right now is try to tell the truth for a few minutes, and I'll have done my job. Listen. There's a prophecy that we heard at Standing Rock from a Lakota prophet named Deborah White Plume. And it goes like this. She wrote this. She's passed away long ago, but she wrote this decades ago, and it's carried through time. We had it at Standing Rock. It goes like this. The earth found a time, there came a time when the earth found that she had to change many things. And she had to change the balance. She had to clean things. She had to change what life was. She had to make basic adjustments. It was a time of extinction, what we call extinction. It was a time to do that radical thing. And she made the decision to open the door to the guilty ones, to open the door to the humans, you and me, and invite us to come through the door and be with her and to participate with her in this radical change. And some of us went through that door. But those of us who hesitated, the door had to close. They had to get back to work. And when the door closed, we vanished. The choice is that stark. It is find out what evolution means inside our protective, cultural, Faustian deal here. Let evolution come into our bodies, expose ourselves. And then when we've done that, work with the earth, study the earth, find out, wait for the earth to give us signals, come into our dreams. The earth is speaking, the earth has language. Trees are talking to each other all day long. We know that now. The Tuesday Science Times, the Times writers are 70% of their writing is being surprised the earth is so smart. The earth will be fine. It's you and me that are fucked.
Yes.
Look, we have to give ourselves a break. A recent study, I think George Carlin would like this. A recent study came out. You know all what I'm going to say, don't you? A study just came out that followed us around in our ordinary moments and established that we in New York City, if we have a computer or an iPhone, that we are exposed to the experience of 10,000 advertisements every day. And they are threatening. I'll tell you why advertisements are really violent. It's because on the one hand, oh, here's my product. And I want you to swipe. I want you to buy this thing. And if you do buy my product, you'll have status. And you'll be good looking. And you'll be wealthy. And you'll have a lot of sex. You'll have a good day. Buy my product. And then if you don't, you say, not now, I gotta go. I'm in my 15 minutes. I'm in a hurry. If you say that, then 10,000 times a day, in one form or another, that same salesperson says, well, if you don't buy my product, then you won't be status. You won't have status. You won't be handsome. You won't be wealthy. You won't be eternally young. None of that will happen to you. You're shopping too much. The Stop Shopping Choir, stop shopping too much. They're enjoying this. The fact is that $1.4 trillion is in the marketing budget in the United States in 2021. $1.4 trillion. Well, what is that? That's 1,000 million makes a billion, 1,000 billion makes a trillion. Am I right? Is that the way it works?
That's right.
It's easy to say, but it's not very easy to feel or to know. Am I right? I know there's a billionaire in this room. Back near the bar. I see you.
Drinks on the billionaire.
If you don't give the Church of Stop Shopping some money this Christmas. There's another figure that I would like to cite, and that is our military budget.
Oh.
If you add the Pentagon to domestic police and add the two of them to the Wagner Group, the Blackwater, the corporate paramilitaries, they're mostly veterans. If you add them all together, you come to the same figure. I noticed, $1.4 trillion. $1.4 trillion. Advertisements, bullets, two kinds of violence, psychological, physical. They got us coming, they got us going. Now it just so happens if you add $1.4 trillion to $1.4 trillion, you get $2.8 trillion, and that's the exact size of the assets of J.P. Morgan Chase. And one might well ask, where the hell is he going now? J.P. Morgan Chase is our local commercial bank here. It's the biggest commercial bank in the United States. Yeah. It's run by a rock star who can do no wrong. His name is Jamie Dimon. He's a romantic immigrant story. His father's name is Demonopoulos. But do I hear the word demon in there somewhere? And he makes $100,000 a day. That's business days. On weekends, I think it's a little less. And so that congresswoman from Palestine, somebody pronounce her name, Rashid, amen. She asked him, sitting, you can see him down there with the row of guilty-looking bankers, right? There he is, and she says, well, Mr. Dimon, what is your plan for renewable energy there at Chase? How is your financing of renewable, sustainable? And he said, oh, we don't really have a plan. We feel that if America turns its back on gas and oil, America is on the road to hell. He is a demon. He said hell with a certain knowledge. So we have big old institutions everywhere have simply been late on climate change. And I'm talking about government, I'm talking about corporations, but I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about militaries, sports teams, any major block of money that you can name. They've been late on the idea of responding to habitat destruction, climate change, toxicity in our ecosystems. They just can't put the apocalypse into their multi-year business plan. So we have a tremendous, fierce wall in our face. My little romantic idea that the people at the vendor's truck are going to be the real people who drive change, I still believe that. For one thing, you know, they're not going to a database, a litigation. They're not going to a policy, an ideology. They're just saying, what? What are you talking about? You know, they're there. They are there. I believe that's you know, that's a John Steinbeckian idea. I know. But I'm going to go to the reading the word now. I think John Steinbeck would like this. You ready? Okay. These are academics now. Anne Ehrlich and Paul Ehrlich, who wrote The Population Bomb. Anybody give me an Earthalleluia? Do you know them? Earthalleluia? They're very early heroes in this whole process. And they are both PhD people, teachers, grand authors, and they're both in Silicon Valley. No, they're in Stanford University. Okay. They were asked to write a short essay on what we will have to do to save ourselves from this general did you yawn? Oh, sorry. This ecocide. See, as soon as you bring in the academics, people start yawning. Yeah. Here's the conclusion of their essay. Here's what they came up with. Evidence points to the need for a quasi-religious transformation of cultural values. quasi-religious. All the New Yorkers are stiffening, but some of them are clapping. You're not Christians, are you? The fact is that we do have something to do that is fierce. It's fierce. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard surface, and we will have to be physical. And in the Church of Stop Shopping, we sing at the East River Park as they cut down trees, and we go to jail. We give we give unasked for concerts in J.P. Morgan Chase, and we go to jail. That's physical. It's a commitment of your body, and that helps to break up that 15-minute bubble. I recommend it. You can do it with us. Just come over to the Church of Stop Shopping, Avenue C.
Avenue C.
3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. We'll go down to East River Park. They've cut down 500 mature trees now. They have 505 trees to go. We know that it's 505 trees because Eileen Miles, our mayor of the East Village, she went and counted them one by one by one by one. So they've only cut down half of the trees, but the trees are talking to each other, and we know that the trees that were cut down, their roots are still there. So I'm sorry, they're probably having traumatized conversations, but maybe I'm projecting my own personal soap opera. Maybe they're singing like this choir, harmonies underground. We have... You want to sit down, you guys? I only have about 2.5 hours to go in my preaching. It's just... I love to preach. Isn't this fantastic? I love it. I love it. I love to preach about the earth. Sometimes I feel like the earth is guiding me. Other times, I'm a fucking liar. So we look at that word religious, and we know that these are two illustrious academics, and that academics are afraid of religion, and they should be. So we are afraid of religion like they are. And so what we think they're saying to us with the quasi-religion, that phrase, the quasi-religious transformation. You know, we want to be the church of quasi here. We want to be as fierce as the zealots. We want to have a touch of the crazy, of the totally self-convinced, of the thing that we see in evolution. You know? When an animal knows that it must kill something, when a plant knows that it must bloom, this is fierce. This is not ideological anymore. This is not having an op-ed page. This is fierce. This is going. We've got to do that. We've got to go. We've got to do. We've got to block the gate. We've got to face down the chainsaws. We've got to hack into J.P. Morgan Chase. We've got to find a way to be tougher. We can see what happened at those climate conferences. That's over. That's over. Don't do that. 600 corporate lawyers and lobbyists. They stall and stall. They're having a poker game with the billionaires. They stall, and then they fold, and they promise something to the hoi polloi, and they get out of there, and they see you know, that's not what we can do anymore. That's in the 15 minutes. Okay. That's stalling. Okay. That's self-regard. It's fake status. All right, let's be more honest than that. Yes. Let's make a transformation in our cultural values. Okay. Let's do it. Now, where does that start? That might start right here in this room. It might start in our bodies, in our opinions, but it might start in the concrete outside. It might start by stopping a development, stopping a concrete truck. It might stop doing something as borderline illegal. We don't have too many social movements that gave us freedom in our culture that were not illegal. And we don't have too much change that helped us, that gave us freedoms in our culture, that where people were not injured or even killed. It hasn't happened in the United States. I'm sorry. That's part of how we make change. But in the environmental movement so far, the people that have been killed are the people that are trying to, Brazilians that are trying to save the rainforest. They're out in what used to be the colonies. Here, we might get embarrassed. That's about as far as we go. maybe a night in jail. We've got to go farther. We've got to go farther in large numbers. There need to be 300 or 400 or 500 people down at the East River Park. We need to say all together, this is corrupt. This is real estate. You're taking this, our biggest green space in the East Village, away from us and away from all those children in the projects there, in the Reese houses and the Baruch houses. They're sitting there watching their green space go away. Why? So they could get $2 billion from the feds and distribute it among themselves. And said, don't get me started. Oh, did I start?
Come back.
Now we have possibly stopped, if I've been doing my job at all, but I think the choir's wonderful singing might have done it, stopped you in your 15 minutes that the Faustian deal that you've made. If you stand still and lower the status in your life of that destination and to the person you got angry with last time, just let the edges of the 15-minute go away. Let the edges of the 15 blocks go away. The advertisements will say, what are you doing? And you say, I'm going to walk to a grove of trees for a while. And you start walking. And the Pentagon and JP Morgan Chase and the 10,000 advertisements, they say, where are you going? Aren't you going to consume anymore? Are you stopping your shopping? Don't you know that if you abandon our consumer society, that you are walking off a cliff? That you're walking away from prosperity, from America, from democracy, from freedom? Don't you know you won't have an identity anymore? Don't you know you need your consumer confidence? And you see what they mean. Oh yes, there's an edge to that cliff. And you go, Earthalluia, help me now. I've got to keep going. I believe that's come on now.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
All right. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remember my favorite place when I was 11 years old. I want everybody in the church now, I want all of you to remember that ecosystem that you love. For me, it's eastern South Dakota, long grass prairies. I used to walk out across those prairies for hours and hours and hours. And I'm just going to put that down on the other side of the edge of that cliff. I'm going to walk on my dream. I'm going to walk into what I've created with my imagination, because we still have that in us. It's so amazing. It's a part of that 10,000 living beings in us that we can't name. We can still believe in where we're going, make it happen, and go there. We still have tremendous power. It might feel at the end of the day, after 10,000 advertisements, like we might feel like we're powerless. I can understand that feeling of cynicism. I can understand why so many people just say, oh, it's over, it's over. There's nothing we can do. The powerful institutions, they want their quarterly report. They're addicted to the profits, and we can't stop them. They'll kill us. They've got armies. Walk out across your favorite forest, your favorite high plains, your favorite wetlands, your favorite shoreline. Oh, and the beautiful rocks that go out into the ocean. And walk and walk. And oh, the advertisements, the advertising executives, they'll get nervous, and they'll start producing as a feature film, your favorite place. And you know it's not right. You sense the fakeness. You see the pixels. The earth is helping you. You're seeing more clearly now. And then you come to the door. You come to the door, and Mother Earth asks you, come on in. help me. Help me with this health care I've got to do. Help me. And you're grateful. And we're grateful. And we say, Earth-alleluia. 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 Amen.
On the roof when the night comes, waiting alone at the bus stop, the deep end of the pool, my bike on the bridge at sunrise, standing still on the forest floor, under a table in your family's home. Where do I go? There was a tree in my neighbor's yard, taller than the tree and I climbed up to the top, looked out at my house and up to the moon. Where do I go? Where do I go? I go to the mountain. I go to the tree next door. I go to the deep end of the pool. I go to the
Earth-alleluia.
Lord, I go to the mountain. I go to the tree next door. I go to the deep end of the pool. I go to the forest. Lord, I go to the mountain. I go to the deep end of the pool. I go to the deep end of the pool. I go to the forest. Lord, I go to the mountain. I go to the tree next door. I go to the deep end of the pool. I go to the forest. Lord,
Thank you, everyone. Earth-alleluia. I want to thank our director, Savitri D. Savitri. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch out now. Watch out.
Pressure in the air. Pressure in the air. Pressure. Pressure in the air. Pressure in the air. Pressure. Well, the screams from nowhere. Virus is crying out. Change without us. Change without us. The earth is in pain. But there is new life in the rain. The rain. The earth is in pain. But there is new life in the rain. The rain. The earth. The earth. The earth. The earth is in pain. The earth. The earth. The earth. The earth is in pain. The earth. The earth. The earth. The earth is in pain.
Oh, yeah.
The earth. The earth. The earth. The earth is in pain.
Bright storm fire, burning bright.
Pressure in the air.
Turning. Oh, change without us. Change without us. The
Pressure in
storms
the air.
are moving. It's in my eyes. It's on my
Pressure
skin.
in the air.
Change, oh,
Pressure
change.
in the air.
Change without us. It's in my eyes. It's on my
Pressure
skin.
in the air.
Change, oh,
Pressure in
change.
the air.
Change without
Pressure.
us.
Pressure in the air. Pressure in the air. Pressure.
Oceans are turning.
Pressure
Bright
in
on
the air.
fire.
Pressure in the
Burning
air.
bright.
Pressure.
Oceans turning.
Pressure
Thunder.
in the air.
Oh,
Pressure
sunlight.
in the air.
Oh, thunder.
Pressure.
Oh, fire. Sunlight.
Pressure in the air. Pressure.
Sunlight. Furious trees are calling out. Heart stops, mouth open. Oh, echoes, echoes, desire, desire.
I see the sea in the sky. The waves are turning. The waves are turning. Is there new life in the pain?
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 Here we go.
Yeah.
New life in the pain.
Yes, there's new life in the rain. Oh, new life, new life, new life, new life, new life, new life. There's a new life. There's new life.
New life.
New life.
New life.
The earth is in pain. The earth, the earth, the earth, the earth is in pain.
Stop Shopping Choir. Reverend Billy.
Callista
Ali
Turner,
Deneen on piano. Layla
Sunder
Ganu.
Ganglani, and Callista Turner.
Marcelo Perez. Thank
Thank you to Joe's. Thank you to everyone here on the staff. Tip your servers. Thanks for coming out. We got time for one more.
Allie Deneen, Allie at the keyboards. Allie Deneen. Gonna sing something? Are they talking to them among themselves here?
We don't have to. Yes, we do.
Amen. And you have your bodies. Thank you, Francisca, Molly, Callista, Ashni, Ariella, Laura, Barbara, Vera, hey Jude, Dawn, Shopa, Vera, Jesse, Lena, Katie, Ak, Pat, Al, hey Carl, Silver, Allie and Marcello. Oh. We're going to go over to Swift's around the corner if you want to talk with us. Going to debrief over at Swift's on 4th Street, right around the corner. And if you want some of these songs or want to talk to us, come to revbilly.com, revbilly.com. And this has been a great Earth Church today. We love you.
trying to hear again, but then from the living room I heard you calling my name. I found you smiling